Today, we're going to delve deeper into a mysterious and highly controversial case. A 20-year-old woman was found by the riverbank with a car parked nearby. Initially, investigators thought it was just a traffic accident. However, after digging deeper, they realized the incident was not as simple as it appeared. About 100 meters from the car scene, two men were fishing, raising police suspicions. Was the incident related to them? Let's explore the story in detail based on documents and the latest updates as of 2025. Location background. The story takes place in North Carolina, USA, often abbreviated as NC. This state is in the southeastern United States, bordering the Atlantic Ocean. In the southeast of the state is Charlotte, the largest city with a population of over 900,000, a major financial hub, home to Bank of America's headquarters, commerce and transportation center, and the fastest-growing economy in the Southeast. The incident specifically occurred on the banks of the Catawba River near Mount Holly in Gaston County, a suburb of Charlotte. The Catawba River is about 220 miles long, flowing through North and South Carolina, an important water source for the area. The scene was a remote area with steep terrain, dense trees, often used for fishing or landscape photography. Victim background. The victim's full name is Irina, a nickname Ira, Yarmolenko, born May 2, 1988 in Ukraine, died May 5, 2008, aged 20. She was born in Chernivtsi, Ukraine, in a middle-class family. At age 8, 1996, Ira immigrated to the U.S. with her parents for better opportunities, initially living in Greensboro, North Carolina. Later, the family moved to Chapel Hill, where Ira grew up and adapted to American culture. In 2006, Ira graduated from Chapel Hill High School with good academic performance. She was accepted and attended the University of North Carolina at Charlotte, UNC Charlotte, majoring in public health and Russian with a partial scholarship. Ira had a cheerful, energetic, sociable personality, enjoying sports and adventure. She participated in volunteer activities such as helping the Ukrainian immigrant community. An example of her adventurous spirit, she had heard of the Stampede Trail in Alaska, a dangerous trail famous from John Krakauer's book Into the Wild, where many accidents occur due to harsh terrain. Despite that, Ira wasn't afraid and hiked dozens of kilometers with friends to find the abandoned Bus 142, where Christopher McCandless died. Additionally, Ira was passionate about photography, often using an analog film camera to capture natural landscapes, and joined the school's photography club. In 2008, Ira was in her sophomore year with high GPA. She planned to transfer to UNC Chapel Hill after this semester to be closer to home. However, an unexpected tragedy took her life just 3 days after her 20th birthday. Ira's family, including parents and brother, always rejected suicide theories, emphasizing she was optimistic with no signs of depression. Events of May 5, 2008. May 5, 2008 was a Monday, with sunny, warm weather around 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Around 12:40 p.m., A man named Dennis Kerr and his girlfriend Brenda were riding a jet ski on the Catawba River west of Charlotte near the I-85 bridge. After about 20 minutes, they spotted an unusual blue Mazda Protege by the riverbank. The car was on a slope by the river, nose pointing down, almost falling into the water, looking like it had crashed. Dennis and Brenda steered the jet ski closer to check. They docked on the shore and approached the car. They were shocked to see a young woman lying motionless next to the car, appearing dead. They immediately called 911. In the call, Dennis described, "I'm at the head of the river near the I-85 bridge. There's a car that ran off the embankment and a body lying there. I don't know if they're alive or not. The car is a blue Mazda, North Carolina plates." Scene discovery. Gaston County Police received the call at 1:12 p.m. and quickly arrived at the scene, led by the Mount Holly Police Department. Initially, they thought it was a routine traffic accident, possibly due to distracted driving. However, after surveying, they changed their view. The blue 1999 Mazda Protege had crashed into a tree stump by the river. The right wheel was stuck in mud. The engine was off, in neutral gear, keys still in the ignition. The front and rear doors on the driver's side were wide open. Next to the car was Irina Yarmolenko's body, no vital signs after pulse check. Strangely, the victim was on the shore, but her body, hair, and clothes, hoodie, jeans, were soaking wet, as if recently submerged. One hand clutched a nearby vine, possibly trying to hold on. In the rear trunk, police found a half-eaten hamburger, possibly from McDonald's, a personal pillow, a Nikon 35mm film camera, and some personal items like books, spare clothes. The film roll in the camera was missing, no trace. Additionally, there was a wallet, cell phone, no suspicious calls, and documents. The medical examiner found the neck strangled by 3 different ropes, wrapped multiple times. First rope, black drawstring from the victim's hoodie. Second rope, blue ribbon, possibly from luggage or bag. Third rope, blue bungee cord, similar to another found in the trunk. The ME concluded death by asphyxiation from strangulation. Estimated time of death around 11:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. No signs of sexual assault, but bruises on neck and arms. The case was ruled a homicide due to deliberate strangulation and staged scene. Initial investigation and witnesses. After surveying the scene, police searched for witnesses nearby. Around 2 p.m., they found a man fishing by the riverbank. View the map. The car location was about 100 yards, 91 meters, from the fishing spot. The 2 spots were close, but with dense trees, uneven terrain, not visible to the naked eye, but sounds could travel far. The man was Mark Bradley Carver, born 1968, then 39, local Mount Holly resident. Mark said he came fishing with his cousin, Neil Casada, born 1967. Neil had gone home before police arrived, estimated 12:30 to 1 p.m., leaving Mark alone. Police asked if Mark heard any noises, like a crash. Mark replied he only heard tractor noise from a nearby construction site, about 500 meters away. nothing else. Police asked more about his activities, and Mark cooperated. At 2:30 p.m., Mark packed his fishing gear, rods, bait box, and said goodbye to police to pick up his daughter from school. Shortly after, around 3 p.m., Mark drove back, saying he forgot some gear. After politely shaking hands with investigators, including Detective William Terry, Mark left. Police continued and identified the victim on May 6, 2008, via license plate and documents. She was Irina Yarmolenko, UNC Charlotte sophomore. 3 days prior, on 5/2/2008, she celebrated her 20th birthday with friends and family. Ira's schedule before the incident. Police reviewed surveillance cameras and statements to reconstruct Ira's timeline. 9:45 a.m. Ira finished her final exam at UNC Charlotte and left class. She scheduled an afternoon exam at 2 p.m. via the school system. 10:17 a.m. Ira made a small cash withdrawal, about $20, at Charlotte Metro Credit Union near campus, then drove away. 10:33 a.m., Ira arrived at Goodwill on University City Boulevard, about 1.2 miles away, to donate money, around $100, large for a student, and personal items, clothes, books. Some handed to staff, rest left by donation bin. She tried donating her pillow but refused due to hygiene policy. 10:55 a.m., Ira went to Jackson's Java Cafe near campus, where she worked part-time freshman year. She no longer worked there but visited often to see friends. The cafe had no cameras, so police asked staff. Staff recalled Ira stayed about 20 minutes, drank coffee, chatted cheerfully, and left a small gift, self-taken photo, for the owner. Around 11 a.m., she drove away. Last camera captured Ira at 11:09 a.m. at a parking lot near the scene, near Town Center Boulevard. She drove around the lot, heading to the Catawba riverbank. View map, cafe was about 18 miles from scene. Normal drive 30 to 40 minutes, but Ira took only about 19 minutes. Unusual, possibly speeding or urgent. Video blurry, unclear if anyone else in car. Why Ira went to the riverbank, a place she seemed unfamiliar with. Later, at the February 2, 2009 bond hearing, North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation, SBI, revealed Ira likely went for a photography class project, shooting Catawba River landscapes. A friend photographer, unnamed, confirmed Ira mentioned wanting to shoot there about a week prior, as the river had beautiful spring scenery. Police noted the camera in the car, missing film roll. Could Ira have photographed something she shouldn't have, like illegal activity, and been killed to silence her? Police focused suspicion on the two fishermen, Mark Carver and Neil Casada, as they were closest. Suspect's background. Mark Bradley Carver, born 1968, worked long years at local cotton mill, Clinton Mills. He didn't finish high school, reading, writing at grade 1 level, married twice, had 4 children, 2 boys, 2 girls. Mark had severe carpal tunnel syndrome since 2000, weakening hands, unable to lift over 6.6 pounds, leading to unemployment since 2005 and disability benefits. In 2005, Mark was charged for shooting at car thieves, but court dismissed as self-defense. In 2007, charged for attempting to shoot son, but actually accidental during play. Gun misfired, no injuries. Court dismissed. Neil Lee Casada Jr., born 1967, Mark's cousin, did odd jobs, had severe heart disease, congestive heart failure, couldn't exert physically, once used pacemaker. In 1995, Neil charged with assault in dispute, but court dismissed for lack of evidence. Sound test and statements. Fishing spot was about 100 yards from scene. Police experimented. One officer spoke loudly and made noise at scene, like banging. Other, at fishing spot, could hear clearly, though not see. Mark and Neil stated they arrived fishing around 11:30 a.m. using bass rods. They fished together about 1 hour, then Neil left early, estimated 12 to 1 p.m. due to fatigue, leaving Mark. Scene discovered at 1:12 p.m. Car hitting stump would make loud noise, estimated 80 to 100 decibels, and Mark nearby should hear, but Mark insisted only heard tractor from site, 500 meters, nothing else, and saw no car or strangers. Arrest and DNA evidence. Police suspected Mark and Neil due to inconsistent statements and proximity, invited them to station for assistance May 6, 2008. Both denied involvement, claimed just fishing, didn't know Ira, never saw blue Mazda. They voluntarily gave DNA samples to prove innocence. Neil took a polygraph May 15, 2008 and passed. Mark wanted one, but police declined as no motive, no acquaintance with Ira. They released them. Police reviewed cameras but found no killer. Ira's family distributed flyers near river, hoping for info. UNC Charlotte offered $10,000 reward for leads May 16, 2008. Governor's office added $5,000, total $15,000, June 17, 2008. 7 months later, December 2008, SBI lab found Mark and Neil's DNA on Ira's car after retesting. Locations: 1 on rear roof behind driver, Neil, 2 on passenger window and handle, 1 Mark, 1 Neil. This was touch DNA, skin cell contact, tiny samples, picograms, possibly indirect transfer, proved contact with car, contradicting statements of not seeing it. Based on this, police issued warrants December 11, 2008, arrested Mark and Neil at 4:30 a.m. December 12, 2008, charged with first-degree murder and conspiracy. Upon arrest, both confused, claimed no knowledge of Ira or car. DNA may be mistake. Neil's death and Mark's trial. Neil Casada had severe heart disease. On October 10, 2010, Neil died at home in Mount Holly from heart attack, 1 day before his trial, scheduled October 11, 2010. Mark Carver became sole defendant. March 14, 2011, nearly 3 years after, Mark's trial began in Gaston County Superior Court, Judge Jesse Caldwell presiding. Mark charged with first-degree murder. Prosecutor Locke Bell argued, Ira went to river for photos, accidentally captured Mark and Neil's secret, possibly drug dealing or illegal activity. They noticed seized camera, strangled Ira with 3 ropes, pushed car down slope to stage accident, took film roll. DNA on car proved they entered. Other evidence, Mark returned to scene, forgot gear, possibly to check. Mark denied guilt, claimed just fishing, DNA contaminated. Defense attorney David Teddy presented no witnesses, didn't strongly argue DNA, didn't emphasize Mark's disability. Jury agreed with prosecution after 2 days' deliberation, though judge noted many doubts. Weak DNA, no motive, sentenced per law. March 21, 2011, Mark Carver sentenced to life without parole for first-degree murder. Mark rejected verdict. In 2016 media interview, Mark said, "Every morning I wake up wondering why I'm here. I'm not a killer. I was just fishing." Continued investigation and other suspects. Despite verdict, police investigated another 2 years, 2011 to 2013, testing DNA of 8 other suspects, including strangers seen nearby, young white male speeding, but no matches. Also, info on undisclosed witnesses. Carol Ingle saw young white man driving Ira-like Mazda fast near scene, then walking 30 minutes later. Angel Beatty saw black man running from area wet with backpack. These not provided to initial defense. Appeal and acquittal. Mark appealed continuously from 2011, with North Carolina Center on Actual Innocence, NCCAI, support from 2013. In 2016, Charlotte Observer series Death by the River questioned wrongful conviction, criticizing weak DNA and biased investigation. 2019, 11 years after, Mark, then 51, imprisoned 8 years. April 2019 new evidence hearing in Gaston County Court. Evidence: Mark low IQ, about 70, mild intellectual disability, poor literacy, physical disability, carpal tunnel, can't strangle or push car, DNA low quality touch, possibly contaminated when investigator shook Mark's hand, then touched car ungloved. One 2011 juror retracted guilty vote after learning more. Independent DNA expert proved samples too small, unreliable per modern standards, post-2010. Sheriff Scott Wright testified on other suspects. June 5, 2019, Judge Christopher Bragg vacated 2011 conviction, ordered retrial, citing ineffective counsel, lawyer didn't argue DNA, and evidence issues. Prosecutor Locke Bell appealed. June 11, 2019, Mark released on $100,000 bail, paid by NCCAI, with GPS ankle monitor, free movement in NC. July 5, 2019, Bell filed appeal to NC Court of Appeals. Appeals Court rejected Bell's appeal 2021. August 12, 2022, Gaston County DA Travis Page replaced retired Bell 2021, formally dropped murder charges against Mark Carver after retesting DNA insufficient. Mark fully exonerated. Defense lawyer Chris Mumma, NCCAI, stated, "This took too long, but Mark regained his honor and innocence. The initial investigation went wrong from the start." DA Page said, "I promise to pursue evidence to find justice for the Yarmolenko family." Other theories from online community and experts. The case sparked much discussion on social media and forums like Reddit, r/unresolved mysteries, with thousands of posts. A popular theory, Ira may have committed suicide. Before incident, Ira donated large money and tried donating personal pillow, odd for student. 2 of 3 ropes on neck had only Ira's DNA, no others, possibly self-tied. She was on shore but soaked, possibly jumped river 3 to 5 meters deep there, unsuccessfully, then ashore tried again with ropes. Car in neutral, possibly intentional plunge. Explains why Mark heard no unusual noise. However, Ira's family strongly rejects. Brother Daniel Yarmolenko said Ira cheerful at school, scheduled afternoon exam, no depression signs, no antidepressants. 3 days prior birthday, friends threw a party at home. Ira cooked traditional Ukrainian food, borscht vareniki, then visited North Carolina Museum of Art together. Seemed very happy, no odd behavior. Initial ME ruled out suicide due to complex rope grappling needing strength. Another theory, Ira killed by stranger. Trunk had half-eaten hamburger, but Ira strict vegetarian since 15, vegan, no meat, and hated fast food. She was very friendly, trusting, often gave rides to strangers, per friends. Perhaps encountered wrong person. Witnesses, Engel and Beatty, initially undisclosed, suggest other suspects, young white man and black man. Some suggest accident, car veered, Ira fell in river, self-strangled in panic, but family believes homicide due to clear strangulation signs. Updates after acquittal and litigation. In 2024, Mark Carver advocated for North Carolina justice system reform, especially DNA testing and police training, at a rally conference on wrongful convictions. He said, "I lost 10 years of life due to system errors. Change needed so no one else suffers like this." 2025. On August 8, 2025, Mark Carver filed federal civil lawsuit in U.S. District Court for Eastern District of North Carolina, alleging civil rights violations leading to wrongful imprisonment. Lawsuit targets 8 defendants, Mount Holly Police, including Detective William Terry, SBI agents David Crow, DNA analysts Karen Winningham, deceased, and Kristen Hughes, City of Mount Holly and related agencies. Main allegations: fabricating DNA evidence, Analysts altered results to match despite insufficient data, distorting Mark's statements, exploiting intellectual disability for false confession, withholding exculpatory evidence, witnesses like Carol Engel and Angel Beattie, biased investigation, lack of touch DNA training. Mark seeks compensatory damages for 10 years imprisonment, health harm, additional illnesses in prison, lost work, emotional distress, punitive damages, attorney fees, and jury trial. Amount not disclosed but estimated millions US dollars. Mark's lawyers from NCCAI argued this is classic wrongful conviction due to poor science and abuse of power. Defendants haven't formally responded, but City of Mount Holly said they'll defend employees. Case pending through late 2025. Conclusion. As of December 2025, the case remains open. No real killer found. Gaston County Police continue investigating, but no new progress. Ira's family still seeks justice, holding annual memorials by the river. If new evidence emerges, police can reopen. Mark Carver exonerated, but 2025 lawsuit may reveal more truth. Was it murder, suicide, or accident? What is the truth? Feel free to comment and discuss, to share opinions.